So, video about the SAS Survival Handbook. Now this is really a video to say thank you to Marcus for sending me this book. I really do appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Marcus. He knew the story, what I'd said about this before, but I'll say it again so you all know, and that's why he sent me the book. I've got a few other books to show you, which I will in a minute after I've told you. So, one thing is, I can't remember what came first for me to do a survival. It was either Les Hiddins, The Bush Tucker Man, or the SAS Survival Handbook. I can't remember which one. And to be honest, when I was younger and I used to watch Les Hiddins, I never actually associated him with survival at the time. I found it really interesting, but not like true survival, not how I associated it, even though it was. But I remember being quite young. My mother used to be, well, she still is, quite an avid reader. She was the one who got me and Michael into Stephen King. I really like, probably one of my favourite authors, Stephen King. She got us into that inadvertently. And also I remember she'd got this book from the library, and I remember it probably was this exact one, probably, well, not this exact one, but this version, and I'll show you in a minute the other versions. And she'd got this out of the library, and I remember looking through it. I remember probably looking at that cover thinking that looks interesting. I was quite young, looking through it, not necessarily really reading because I was young, kind of looking at the pictures, and a couple of things really stood out to me. One of them was the survival tin, and the other one, what really stood out, was the section on traps. I remember looking at these traps and being really amazed by them, and then thinking to myself, I'd love to be able to make some of those, but I thought, they look too complicated, I'd never be able to figure them out ever. And I thought, I'd have an interest, but I'd never be able to make them. Well, it turned out that was wrong. But this was definitely the first kind of proper thing for survival for me, this book. Without this I probably wouldn't have got into it, or may have got into it but much later. Without all these traps I'd have never got interested in trapping or building primitive traps and that. Really good books these are. They're not just the trapping section, all of it is very decent book. Yeah, but I remember specifically looking at the traps and the survival tin. I remember actually making a survival tin when I was younger, carrying it, and then years later made other survival tins, kept doing it. And one day I remember thinking, I'm going to try one of these traps on video, if I can find it. The one what really stood out to me and I thought I'd try, so far as I can remember, was the net trap. I think that was the first video I ever did on YouTube. I think it was a net trap. Then I tried the figure 4 and various other ones. There's other traps I tried, but it was really on film to try and do it. I remember doing that one and this one, and I did a few of the others as well. So thank you very much, Marcus, I really do appreciate you sending me this. Now I'll show you a few other versions of the same book that I've got. I've got a few, and it was kind of weird because I didn't actually realise I had so many until I looked through them. but that kind of goes to show how much I really liked them. So I've also got this small one, and I used to carry this in my work bag every day. Funny thing is, I've recently stopped carrying it, but I might start carrying it again because it's always good, you know, as a reference. I've also got another smaller version there, and another one there. So I've got 3 of the small one. That's probably the most modern one. I've also got this one. Now, another funny thing about this was, this to me and Michael was a bit like gold dust. We absolutely loved this book, even if we didn't really read it, you know, maybe more looking at the pictures. And I remember my mum used to have a cleaning job, and at the cleaning job was a photocopier. So we got her to get the book out of the library again. And I'm not telling her, we took it to the cleaning place and photocopied the entire book, so we had a copy of it to keep. And which is a bit, you know, I feel a little bit guilty because I'd rather would have bought it and give John Lofty Wiseman the money for the book, but you know how it goes when you're young. And then for a long time I only had the like a photocopied kind of version. And then someone said to me, this is quite a few years ago, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, oh, I'd love the SAS Survival Handbook. Someone got me this one, which is, as it says there, new edition. It's a paperback one with like a film sleeve to keep, you know, stop it getting wet. It's essentially the same book but smaller. Which the one good thing about this one is, because it's bigger, obviously, the pictures are bigger. So that's another version of it. Like I said, same book, but slightly smaller pictures. And then, I think maybe a couple of years ago, someone bought me this one, which I believe is probably the newest version of this you can get. This is it's the same book, it's slightly different because now there's photographs, whereas all of these ones are all really decent drawn pictures. Whereas this one, I'd say it's pictures, photographs, and like computer animated images or something, what we call it, like computer ones, if that makes sense. You see photographs in this one. It's the same one, John Lofty Wiseman, but it's got photographs, and it also has the same diagrams, but now photographs as well. See if I can find some of the traps. I'm not sure if this one's slightly different setup, but you see diagrams from the original, photographs, makes it slightly different. Oh, there's the traps. I don't know if there's any photographs of traps in here. No photographs, I don't think, but yeah, so slightly, the newest edition has gone back to being a big book again. And it's got all the same diagrams, but photographs as well. For example, there's some photographs. Decent book, very, very decent book. But this one especially, It's always going to bring back memories to me, because as far as I'm aware, this would have been the one I saw. I'm 99% sure of it. It may have been this one or a paperback version of this one, but I remember it being big like this as well. Yeah, and without that, I may have got into kind of survival stuff a lot later. But those traps really intrigued me, and I was absolutely sure that I would probably never ever be able to make one. And then I tried it and it turned out you can. So, you know, I suppose the moral of that story is, you know, don't think you can't until you try it. But proper decent book, and again, thank you very much, Marcus, for sending it to me. I really truly do appreciate it. So if anyone hasn't got these books, any version of it, any version you see, well worth getting. Yes, yes, Survival Handbook. Alright, thanks a lot, and thanks a lot, Marcus.